Hello guys, it's Fuberduge, and I kid you not, this is my first unboxing trial thing or whatever you want to call it ever. So check this out, I got the reissue Masterpiece Prime that comes with Vector Sigma, and I have not opened this up yet, so I am extremely excited to just cut this thing open and get digging. So, I ordered this from Big Bad Toy Store, as you can see, with the tape, and, just to get an idea of how big this thing is, I don't know how well you can see that. But here's my hand. So this thing is fairly big, actually. It wasn't as big as my box I got when I got Starscream from Big Bad Toy Store, but no, it's pretty decent size. So let's get this thing open. I got my little trusty knife here. So I'll stab the top and open this thing. I'm sorry if this is kind of boring to watch, but for those of you that like unboxing videos, well, you're gonna like this. There we are. Oh, the joys of opening boxes. Just need to find where the split is. The background's coming down. Ah, that's where it is. There we are. Alright. The whole background's coming down on me. Stay. Alright, there we go. I can feel the bubble wrap, folks. So, one lid nearly open, another one ready to go. Alright. There's one. And guess what? 2 is not far behind. Last one. Camera. Yay! Alright. So, here we are. Taking all this gigantic bubble wrap out. Oh, here it is. Epic, epic, epic. I love Big Bad Toy Store. They're probably one of the best toys ever. Thank you for your order. Yeah. Awesome. Alright, here we go. Woo! Awesome. And better yet, Vector Sigma. Alright, baby. So, now that we got this thing open, let's take this giant lug off. If I can. Without knocking anything over. Oh, the blinding light. Oh, there we have that. Alright. There it is, folks. Optimus Prime. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to get this thing. I'm just so excited to open him and just get to playing with him. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. I finally have this thing 100% complete. It's the leader of the Autobots with the best version of him. Anyway, in my opinion. And also a nice little cool feature is it comes with this thing. Vector Sigma. And I don't know if you can see it in there, but there it is. Oh. The old yellow disco ball of our dreams. Anyway, so let's just take a quick look at the box. This thing's big. This thing is just massive. I mean, here's my hand. I mean, for comparison, here's the little G1 Swoop still in his box. Actually, I put him back in there, but yeah. Anyway. Just to get an idea of how big this thing is. So, bringing him up close here. Hi guys, you can see me and my nice little iPhone. Anyway, it says the trailer converts to battle station, and yeah, you all already know this stuff. Advanced, I don't know if you can see that. My thumb's covering it. Yep, advanced. Warning! Trailer converts to battle station. Autobot roller included. Matrix of leadership fits in chest. Slap on Energon axe. And a nice picture of Optimus Prime up there. I don't know if you can see that very well. Now to the back. There we have that good stuff. He's got the Matrix. He's got his trailer that transforms into battle mode, and little Spike can fit in there. And over there it says, trailer converts to battle station. Autobot roller included. Matrix of leadership fits in chest. Well, yeah, all the good stuff that we saw. And then the Snap-on Energon axe, and then Spike Witwicky, minifigure included. And ion cannon storage, which you probably already know that his ion blaster fits into his backpack. So, coming up here, there's his bio, if you'd like to read it. So there we have that. Coming around here, we have his tech specs, if you'd like to read those. It's not focusing. There we go. So if you'd like to read those. Again, nice product shot of Prime. And here we are, back to the front. So enough waiting, folks. I'm excited to get this thing opened, and I'm just so ready to play with this thing. So let's get this thing open and just bask in this thing's glory. So after many long years of waiting, 3 years that is, I finally have this whole set in my hands. Granted, I did have just a figure version of Optimus Prime and his ion cannon and his axe. But now that I have the whole thing together for a lot cheaper of a price than the original, plus a Vector Sigma, I can't complain. I mean, this thing is awesome. I mean, what can I say? It's Optimus Prime. Already I have him in his truck mode, and there's no doubt in my mind this is the greatest Optimus Prime figure ever created. At least a G1 iteration. But in my opinion, this is the greatest Optimus Prime figure that's ever come out. So just to get a quick look at him. He looks very cool. I really do like this thing. It is so cool. Very, very, very G1-esque. I mean, this thing is just amazing. It looks so much like the cartoon cab, and in my opinion, this is much better than the MP-10 Optimus Prime mold, because this, there's no kibble. I mean, this thing is just solid. It's smooth. It's clean. There's no like edges hanging off. I mean, the original Optimus Prime, don't get me wrong, that was a great figure, but it falls short. It's a far cry of a figure to this thing. I mean, this thing just blows it away. And I know that so many people agree with me that this is probably the best masterpiece figure we've got so far. I mean, Ultra Magnus, I've seen a few things about him. To me, he seems like a decent figure, but I don't think that's the best Takara has come up with. This, in my opinion, is the best Takara has come up with. So, if you guys hate hearing my voice, don't complain, because we're going to go into a bunch of features in his vehicle mode. He does come with a few things, like his trailer, which is detachable just like this. You just peg it right off. On the actual cab itself, actually, before we do that, I'm just going to pull these out. And you can already hear something in there. When these pull out, this piece down here kind of automorphs out. So that's very nice that it kind of stays right there just like that. But anyway, the trailer attaches to 2 tabs right there. And I don't know if you can see them very well. It's really hard to see, but just right here, this thing rotates. So that's pretty much what happens with that. So, setting the cab off to the side, we're just going to take a quick look at the trailer. So, also, another thing this thing comes with is a little Spike minifigure. And I'll zoom in so you can get a decent look at this thing. It's not bad, actually. I don't really have a whole lot of problems with this, besides the face isn't painted. He has no eyes. He's made out of kind of like a bendy, rubbery kind of thing, because you can see his arm bending like that. And, yeah, that's pretty much what this thing is. So for articulation, he bends at the knee. He has a swivel at his thigh, and he has swivels at the arms, and that's about it. So, very nice figure, very nice touch, and you can do a few things with him, with this Prime figure. So, that's kind of nice. We'll set him off right next to Prime. So, this trailer is actually very cool. It does open to fit different figures in it. So, just to open this thing up, I already have roller in here. This thing comes with roller. So open this thing, you can put it down just like that, and out comes a little roller. And you can fit Spike in there, because there's one little seat for Spike. I don't know if you have to raise his arms or not. I'm just going to raise his arms so I can fit him in here. So, I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm sorry if that didn't come off very well on camera, but you can fit a little Spike in there, so that's kind of cool. Just taking him out. So now another thing you can do with roller here is, this whole thing comes with this ion blaster, as you already know. There's a little button here. It's kind of grayish. Just press it and it kind of transforms itself. So there's a little sort of tab here, actually. You want to try to lift it up. I don't know if you can see this very well. But anyway, this was tabbed in there. And this whole thing can just come back like that. And I don't know if you can see this as well. It's very dark. There's a slot right here that is molded, so this can fit right in there perfectly. So, and this can just rest back here or up like that or whatever you want to do. But, there's roller with Prime's gun. That's pretty cool, I think. So there you have that. And, yeah. It's roller, I mean. We have all three components of Prime here. Roller was always there to save the day or whatever. Or I remember in, More Than Meets the Eye, I think it was the first episode. Roller came out to try to help Prime, like when the Decepticons are in the crystal mines or whatever, wherever the heck they were. So yeah, he also appeared in a few other episodes. I think it was the one where the Autobots turned evil. I can't remember that one. It's the one where Starscream and Megatron infiltrate their base and are invisible and all that good jazz. So yeah, there's Roller. So now, I don't know if you can see inside the trailer. It's kind of dark. Whoa. Just focused really brightly. Okay, anyway. So, there's the inside of the trailer. And, yes, figures can fit inside of there. So, just to give you a good idea of how many can fit in here. Here he is with a Masterpiece Sideswipe. So he can actually fit in there quite well. You can go about that far, right there. Take him out. Here he is with Masterpiece Prowl. See if he can fit. It's about the same. I mean, Prowl and Sideswipe are about the same size. So, there we have that. And, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, we can fit other Masterpiece figures in here because they all scaled well together. I think this new Masterpiece scale after a few of the old ones, like Masterpiece Megatron and the original Masterpiece Optimus Prime. I think the new scale is much, much better because Megatron was too massive, Prime was too massive, and now they're a pretty decent size. So, another thing you can do with this thing, which is actually a really cool thing that the original one did, is you can take this whole thing, this whole compression, and just detach it and fold it out like that. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's that. And also raise the camera up a bit here, give you a better look at this thing. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, look at all that detailing. I mean, they didn't even have to do that, and yet they did. That just amazes me. That is so cool. So, it's just like the original G1 toy. You got this whole thing right here. It's on a double hinge right here, and it's also on a double hinge here. So, you can raise this thing up higher. It's on nice ratchets. And, yeah, you couldn't see that, but now you can. So that was weird. Anyway, this thing is kind of like a claw. It can grab someone. Grab Spike for who knows why. Prime went bad. I don't know. This is on kind of a, not a ball joint, but kind of like a hinge swivel. This is kind of like a sonar radar type thing. So that's cool. Take Spike here, who's had enough trauma already. You can open this thing up there, and there's a seat in there, and he can fit. I don't know if you can see that very well. But anyway, bending his knees and such and such. Fit a little Spike in there. Who knows why there's a little port in here that can hold a human. I mean, they hadn't encountered humans before, but hey, it's toys. What can you do? I mean, it's cool. Anyway. It's G1. You can forgive it. We all forgive G1 for any of the inconsistencies. Because G1 is awesome. I just love G1. It's best the Transformers ever got. So, yeah. That's about it. Just putting this whole thing back there. There's the trailer, pretty much. I mean, not much else going on. The bottom has great detailing. Oh, it's actually pretty bright. I was surprised how bright that was. Anyway, they got like a spare tire here, and that's molded in right there, and that's just awesome. I really do like that. That is a nice touch that they didn't have to do, but they did because Takara or whoever, Hasbro, knows what the heck they're doing. You can also stand up like that, and we'll go into this later. You can put the robot version of Prime in kind of his repair mode. So setting that off to the side, we'll get to the actual cab itself. And I'm putting the camera down. Very nice cab, as I said before. This is probably my favorite cab of G1 Optimus Prime ever created. I mean, this whole thing is just awesome, this whole set. So, for a few size comparisons, here he is with Prowl. So they stack up together. Actually, this scales pretty well, actually. I think I saw a real, I forgot what kind of a cab he was, but I had it on the top, it's at the top of my head, I can't quite remember the name. But that and a Nissan Fairlady, this is actually pretty accurate, besides all this chunk back here. It's not supposed to be that chunky, but hey, it's Prime. Here he is with Masterpiece Lambor, or Sideswipe. See how they look together? Pretty good scale. I mean, he's the same size as Prowl. Actually, I don't know if a real Lamborghini Countach is the same size as a Nissan Fairlady. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're close to the same size, but not exactly. But anyway, taking him off. There we have that. And one last thing that you can do with him in his cab mode is you can take a little spike here, bend his legs. And I'm actually kind of scared about these legs because they're kind of bending sideways when I turn them, because the joint, like half of the joint's over here and the other half is connected to the thigh. Like the first half was connected to the knee, but anyway, putting him in there. You can, there's another seat here, so you can put him on either side, really. If they ever come out with like a spark plug figure or whatever. I don't know if you can see him in there. Oh, that was weird. Come on. There he is. I don't know if you can see him, but I can see him. So anyway, that's a nice little touch. Taking him out, straightening him out, putting him off to the side. Gotta take him out for the transformation. And speaking of that topic, that's what we're gonna do next. So first thing you want to do is take these windows, tuck them in. And by the way, I do like these windows. They're really cool. Unfortunately, I mean, this isn't the biggest, like, the baddest thing ever, but there's no reflective material there. I wish they kind of wanted that, at least like this kind of thing, but hey, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I'm already ultra satisfied with this figure, so it's not a complaint. It's just a thing that I wish that they would have done. But anyway, doing that. Also, you want to pull these smokestacks up so you have clearance to transform the arms correctly. So now, the first thing you want to do is untab these headlights, just like that, and that kind of, I don't know, these kind of connect. It's really weird, but anyway. Untabbing this piece, oops, turning these whole two assemblies down. This likes to go in, so I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it for now. So there's that, and next you can open up his chest windows and flip out his head. Very nice head sculpt, by the way. I'll get into that later. So now what you can do also is, just like every single G1 Prime, transform his arms by pulling them out, kind of swiveling them over. That's pretty much how every single G1 Prime transforms. So then you take these pieces right here, flip them up just like so, and there you have that. And keeping these windows open, you can fold his whole grill assembly up into his chest, revealing the Matrix. And by the way, the Matrix is very cool, and I'll get into that later. But for now, I'm just going to close this up so I can finish the transformation. Oh, what am I doing? You're not supposed to close that yet. Why is this not shutting? Normally it shuts. There we go. Alright. So now what you can do is there's a kind of a, I don't know how well you can see this. This likes to come off, but there's a piece up here. You can kind of see it right there. It's red. It's die cast. It's very nice. It kind of makes his core very stable, and you just kind of untab that from there, just so you can, I don't know, have enough clearance to move these around. So you can take this gray bit and turn it around, kind of on a ratchet. So there you have that. Just kind of pulling this over so you can actually get that under there. I don't know if you could see that or not. I apologize. I'll actually raise my camera so you can see. There. Alright, so I just rotated this around, so this is in the back now. So you can fold this up like so. Kind of concealing the tires, which I think is a very creative, ingenious idea. And don't close these quite yet, because we have a few more things to do. You can just, they were kind of done like that. You can just put them flush against his back. These clip in. These fold in. I don't think they clip. No, they don't. They just kind of sit there. And so that kind of makes his back kind of clean. Doesn't really have a whole lot of kibble. He always had kind of a backpack like that. So that's cool. And then you can take this, and there's a tab right here and a slot right here. You can't see it because it's black. But that's just tabs in just like that, with the kind of creating a faux grill. Rotate this around, revealing his codpiece. And now you can finally close these. Oh, these used to close. Alright, so I got his chest all fixed up. There's just a little kink in there that I had to fix real quick. So, no problem. So, from here on out, we're just going to finish this up. I'm just going to finish his arms. There's a tab right here that you pull out like so. Flip his arm around, his forearm. Oh, go the other way. Close it up, and that's actually a very cool looking arm. It's very solid and very clean looking. Oh yeah, and this was already kind of extended, but this one didn't extend, so it was like this, just extend it like that. Same thing here, just flip around his forearm, and close that back up. And there we pretty much have his torso all done. So now we're just going to finish his legs, so just split these, they work together. And then there's buttons back here, you can push them in. Is that all the way? No, it's not. There we go. There we are. Just pull them out just like that. Very, very, very subtle movement. Just grab it. You'll just come right out. Flip out the heel spurs and whatever. Pull this in. And starting to look like Prime, actually. You want to fold this out like that. All the way around. Like so, on the other side. Therefore, he'll be able to stand. And last, flip these around, they just tab in like that. Oh, this came out again. I know why it started coming out. It's because this grill didn't want to stay tabbed in. But now, it still kind of doesn't want to stay tabbed in. So, getting them all straightened out. We have Masterpiece Prime. And I'm just infinitely impressed with this figure. It is so exquisite and so awesome. This thing is just so... It's too cool. To put in layman's terms, it's way too cool. This thing is just epic. Just totally epic and awesome. I love this figure. It's everything I could ask for out of a G1 Optimus Prime figure. It's just so, so cool. And Takara totally knocked this out of the park with the design, and Hasbro improved on that with a nice new paint job. And it just, this version is the best. I mean, this is better than the Takara version in my opinion, because the Takara version was a little bit darker in tone. It had less paint apps. Like, on this one, the head sculpt was different. Actually, well, the sculpt, not the sculpt itself, but the paint. And zooming in on the head sculpt, that is a very nice head sculpt. Very cool. The eyes, actually, on the Takara one, were translucent, and they had no light piping, so he looked like he was dead. So, this one, they painted them, and... excuse me, that just gives him a much more alive-looking feel to him. And also, they painted the lights right there on the upper chest, and just little things like that are what make this thing epic. And you do got a nice Autobot logo right there that was on the original one. That's very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So, a few things that you can do with him in robot mode is he comes with this thing. Just flip him around to the back. You can open this, as you already knew. And you can just slot this right in there, like so. And it's a very neat way to store this thing. I think that's really cool. And just taking this out, there's a hole right here. You can just push this out and grab it. And it comes right out. Just close that back up. And press the button. I love that, by the way. You can open his fist. And it has the 2 tabs that most Masterpiece guns have. So you can just squeeze this in there. And it tabs right into his hand. And then he holds there. And that's just very cool. It holds right in his hand. And actually, I'm very satisfied with this gun. I know that like a third-party company came out with a different version of this. And it didn't transform, I don't think. I don't know if it did, but I'm pretty sure it didn't. And that was always kind of a bummer. So I like the way this thing looks. It looks like the original cartoon/toy. So I'm pretty satisfied with this gun. I actually like it quite a bit. So taking this off to the side, he also comes with an Energon axe. And believe it or not, this thing is an upgrade from the original Masterpiece 10 mold. This thing does not pop off. It is fully molded together, and it has no problems with staying together. It is fully molded on there. I tried to take it off a little bit before, and I almost broke it, but I didn't. So I'm kind of happy that I didn't break this thing. But anyway, it's actually, it looks different because I had the original Hasbro version of Prime, and it was a lot more dull looking, and this one's just a lot more shinier, I think. I mean, it looks more that way in person anyway. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's a lot more shinier than the original. I sold my other Prime, so I couldn't compare the two. I'm sorry about that, but another thing that's different is you have to turn his arm or his hand like that to put this thing on, because the space for the thumb is on the side, and you cannot rotate this at all unless if you rotate his hand, which is not that big of a problem. So there you have that. That's pretty cool. The one episode they ever used it. It's pretty neat. I like this thing. I mean, what more could you ask for it? I mean, out of an Energon weapon than an Energon axe. Pretty cool. So, just popping this thing off. Rotate his arm back like so, or his hand. This doesn't like to stay together. Maybe I didn't tab it in all the way. Anyway, speaking of that, actually, I'm going to open this up, and you can check out the matrix. Ooh, there's some heavy ratchets. You can open that and then open this. And also, another, I guess, kind of sort of an update from the old version is this doesn't stay tabbed in very hard. I mean, I know that on my old one I had problems untabbing this thing, and it just comes right off. And also, I don't have problems with taking the matrix out. You just bump it here, and you can just grab it and take it right out. Oh, spoke too soon there. Anyway, we'll set Prime off to the side. Getting a little bit of close-up on this matrix. Very, very cool matrix. I love this thing. Translucent. This thing is metal. I mean, listen. This thing is harder than most plastic things I've ever heard. So this thing is amazing. I love the paint. The paint is great. It's just an all-around amazing piece. And very good to have with Optimus Prime. And also, this thing does fit in the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, but this thing doesn't come with the Ultra Magnus figure. So, if you want Ultra Magnus with the Matrix, unfortunately, you have to get this too. Well, I suppose not unfortunately, but anyway, that's nice. You can just put that back in there. And all that good stuff. You can't see. Oh boy. Alright. So for articulation for this figure, it's pretty good. His head is on a swivel. It's also kind of on a hinge, so like a swivel hinge kind of joint. It's not a ball joint. You can rotate his earpieces down, or whatever you want to call these things. You can rotate those down and have those however you want. I tend to line them up just wherever they line up. I mean, it's not a problem. And next, you can rotate his arms 360 degrees, and you can rotate these out, and you have to pull them out in order to kind of swivel out at the shoulder. But for looks sake, I like to keep it pushed in, because a Prime like this does not look like a Prime at all. So I just close that back together. This does not like to stay in. I know that that's not a problem with all these figures. I don't know if that's a problem with these reissues or what, but my figure has that problem. So if you want to get a reissue, then I can't say that all of them come with that problem with the chest. I just don't think it does. Because, I don't know, how could they make that mistake? I mean, it's a masterpiece. Come on. You expect a lot from them. So anyway, he can rotate at the upper elbow, bend at the elbow. Unfortunately, he cannot bend this thing 180 degrees, or close to 180 degrees. It only bends that far. So he can't, I don't know, get his fist up to his head without doing this. So that's kind of unfortunate. Gosh, that's bugging me. That's kind of unfortunate, but not that terrible at all. Rotates 360 degrees on the wrist. He opens, his fingers are individually articulated except for these. These are kind of close together like this, and this one's separate. And this one has 2 joints, and so he's able to grasp his gun, or he can point at you, I think. Yep. He can point at you, so that's pretty cool. So just closing that back up there. For the legs, he does, or actually not the legs, he does rotate at the waist. Very nice. Nice heavy ratchets. In and out. That's not a ratchet, but guess what was in and out? This is a ratchet right there. Rotates at the knee. Bends at the knee. You can bend backwards at the knee too. Kind of freaky, but hey. Very nice ankle pivot there. You can move it up and down like this, however you want. Very nice. Very good articulation. I mean, it's Masterpiece. They always have really, really good articulation. Unless if you're Masterpiece Megatron, but he's one of the old guys. So that's about the articulation for that. And, yeah, that's pretty much him all by himself in his cab mode. So what we're going to do right here, we're just going to take Prime there, and we're going to take out his huge honking trailer. So I got this thing right here. I don't know if this is supposed to go up, but I'll just do that real quick. So you can do that. I don't know how much of that is in camera. Oh, there we go. You can just put Prime right in there. You can, before doing that, we're going to revolve this thing up. Put Prime in here while he gets repaired. His fits in there very nicely. So, yeah. This thing can repair Prime or whatever with its crane. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. So, I don't know if there's anything else. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's about it with this thing. So, there we have that. And so that's pretty much all the original figure came with. But is a very strong word. Hasbro got smart and made something extremely awesome. Vector Sigma. Oh yeah, baby. I think this is the first time, like, a figure, or whatever you want to call it, Vector Sigma has ever come out. I already opened this thing, so I'm just going to show you this. It can open up here, like that. It was all packaged in here. I took it out. Nothing really fancy. You got the key there. Oop, I drop it. Nice designs, nice details, nice Autobot logo. Autobot logo, the Hasbro logo, all that good stuff. 2014. So there's that. And inside, it came with a few things that are really cool. So, Prime over here. It came with these things. And this is made out of kind of like a hard paper. And it's supposed to hold Vector Sigma. So I'm just going to set that back there. And it comes with these 2 things. And obviously, this is Vector Sigma. It's very cool. I'm going to bring it up closer so you can see. It's a very cool piece. Translucent. Very nice. And it comes with this key. And this is die cast. I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, listen. This thing is die cast. And it's metal. And it's gold. And it's shiny. And it's heavy. I mean, this thing is stinking heavy. I mean, I love this piece. And so then there's a little slot right here that you can just plug that into, just like that. And so you can recreate your own Key to Vector Sigma episode, the one where they made the Stunticons or whatever. And, yeah, that's excellent. I mean, you paid less to get this thing, and then you also paid less to get it coming with this. So I just think that's awesome. And so then this thing, I haven't really done it yet, so I'm just going to show you what you can do. You just open this up kind of like this, and there's a circle piece that you can just take right off, just like that. Fold these up. These are kind of interlocked and connected. So, just, I don't know, you're supposed to, like, bend these or something. I haven't really done this before, so forgive me if I do this wrong. But I'm just going to bend them up, like so, each one individually. And eventually you can just stick this thing on. It kind of has a fire design on it. I'm sorry I didn't show that off before, but I suppose you could just take my word for it. So there we have that. And you can just put Vector Sigma right on top of there. And plug in the key. You couldn't see that very well, but there we have that. Very nice touch. I really do like that, actually. It's got kind of a nice little prop thingy. If you want to hang this up somewhere, there's unfortunately no place to like put a string or whatever, but hey, who's gonna complain? I mean, I'd probably display this thing just like that. I mean, yeah. And now I have an excuse to use Vector Sigma in my new movies, so sweet deal. That's actually very cool because most of the plot is on Cybertron. Well, I don't know about most of the plot, but some of the plot. Anyway, there we have that, and that's about it. That's all this thing comes with. Epic awesomeness. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, this thing is just amazing. It comes with all these new features, and it comes with this, and that's just awesome. I mean, what more could you ask out of a reissue? I think Hasbro did a very good job making a great deal, and the price is totally worth it. I mean, I think it is anyway. So if you want to get this figure, I'll put a link in the description below. You can get it at BigBadToyStore.com, because that's the place where I found it the cheapest. About $150 or $60, somewhere around there. But it's a lot cheaper than the first one. The first one was like $350. I mean, I'm not going to pay $350 for a toy. I mean, for all you collectors out there, that's probably heresy, but I'm not really a hardcore collector, so I'm really not going to pay, I don't want to pay that much for a figure. But now that this thing is a million times cheaper, I mean, I paid more for Masterpiece Megatron than this thing. And Masterpiece Megatron was, in my opinion, a decent price. But anyway, perfect figure to get. I mean, it's a gift set. You could get it. I think it came out a little bit before Christmas, actually. But anyway, it's a great figure to get. A nice reissue for Masterpiece. A great set. So I would really highly recommend getting this one. It comes with a cheaper Prime. It doesn't seem like the plastic quality is cheaper or any of the other type of quality is cheaper. But this thing is exactly the same as the other one. Mine isn't. Well, actually, my old one's looser than this one, so I'm actually much more happy to have this one. So, you can get that, plus a Vector Sigma, and, I don't know, it's just a great deal. So, I think that's pretty much all there is to say about this thing. I mean, come on, guys, it's Optimus Prime. You gotta love this dude. I mean, if you like Masterpiece, especially if you like G1, I mean, if you want a cartoon-accurate figure, this is the thing to get. I cannot stress enough how much this thing is awesome. I mean, if you think this figure is terrible, I don't know what's wrong with you, because this is the greatest Masterpiece figure that's come out, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions as well. So, again, that's all there is to say. So, this has been Fuberduge. I want to thank you for tuning in today. Please check out my Facebook page, and look at some of my YouTube videos, and also check out some of my stop motions. And also, I'm coming out with a new movie, The Return of Megatron, Transformers The Return of Megatron, and it stars this dude. So if you want to see this dude in stop-motion action, then you should be a little bit excited, because I'm coming out with a feature-length stop-motion film with him, Masterpiece Megatron, and a bunch of other sweet figures. So again, this is Fuberduge. I want to thank you for tuning in. Keep playing, guys.